Hey guys, so it's Hailey Eliza and welcome to my first ever clickbaited video. So if you didn't click off because of that, so this is clickbaited, yes, because the picture that I used in the thumbnail is not my car. However, the title is true. I got into a car crash on my first day of school/college. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to title it, but let's hop into the story. Actually, before we hop into this story, I feel like it's been so long since I filmed and sat and filmed a YouTube video. My background is always changing. I'm always like adding random shit to it, and I feel like it just gets more chaotic, but whatever. I just hung some records on the wall today. It's really whatever. And it's also been a while since I posted on my channel, like a couple weeks, or even just since I've sat down and filmed. I have just been super busy and just not in like a great headspace, and I'm still kind of like I feel like I'm just not as motivated to make videos because I have so much other stuff going on. Like I'm working and I work like 4 days out of the week, and then I have school, and like I'm English, and I'm in my junior year, so I have like a ton of schoolwork. But I finally am back sitting down filming a video. Now I'm gonna edit this video. I'm actually kind of excited to upload another video because it has been a couple of weeks. But let's just hop into this story time. I'm so not a story time YouTuber. I don't even consider myself like a YouTuber, but I felt like filming a story time today. And also this is just kind of a funny story, even though I feel like it's not. Like I'm really not that cool. This isn't that cool of a story. Like all my stories, like I don't really have that many stories to share, and the ones that I do have to share I probably won't share for a long time. But this one's just kind of like funny looking back. Actually, it's still not really back far enough for it to be funny, but like one day it will be funny, but it is also kind of funny now just looking back. But now that I've rambled on for 2 minutes, let's get this video started. So where do I even begin? So basically I am in high school. I'm in my junior year, like I said earlier in the video, but I do dual enrollment. So basically that means I go to college for a couple of my classes and I go to high school for my other classes. So my dual enrollment class starts, so I have English and I have history that I'm taking as dual enrollment classes, and my first day of college started a week after my first day of high school. And basically college, my class starts at 7:30, which I don't know what time you guys start school, but that's like super early. That's like, because normally like high school starts at like 8:35. But anyway, let's get to the actual story. So the first day of college, I got up at 6 and I was getting ready. I was running kind of late because I don't know, I like to have a lot of time to get ready so I can kind of like do things, and I'm someone who like, I love like sitting there and like blending my makeup for like 30 minutes even though I don't need to, and it's kind of a waste of time, but I do it anyway. So I was sitting there and getting ready, running kind of late, but then I got into my car and I left my house. Actually, before I got into my car, because I kind of knew where the university was. So the university is like literally 5 minutes from my house, and I kind of knew where it was because it's right by like the Target that I go to on a regular basis, but I didn't know exactly where it was. And I put everything into my GPS, like whenever I drive. Like today, I've been working at the same place for like 2 months, and today was the first time I didn't put it in my GPS to like drive there, which is kind of pathetic and kind of sad, but whatever. I don't like not knowing exactly where I'm going and like having the GPS to like look at. And so I put it in my GPS and I didn't really sound right. It kind of sounded far away, and I was like, that's kind of weird that it's like 20 minutes away. I know it's not more than like 10, but whatever. I kind of know where I'm going. I'll just go with it and hope that it kind of like reroutes and figures its life out. My phone, which my phone is trash, so I should have known it wasn't gonna figure its life out. I can even figure my life out, and I'm trash, but like not as trash as my phone is. I kind of like quickly showed it to my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, does this look right? Is this where I'm supposed to go? And she didn't really look at it. She was like, yes, which kind of annoyed, but it's fine. I'm over it. And so then I ran outside, got into my car, and started driving towards where I knew the Target is. That's like 5 minutes from my house. And then my GPS obviously was not taking me to the right place. It was trying to take me to some place that was like 30 minutes away, and I was like, okay, I'm really stressed. And so I got to where I knew I was super close. I parked in the Target parking lot, and I was sitting there, and I called my dad because he had tried to explain earlier where it was to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, where is it? I was stressed. I had like, at this point, I had like 20 minutes to like get there and park and go in and get to my class and like find the right class and everything, because I also had no clue where the class was inside of the building, and it's like not a huge building, but I also had like no idea where I was going. And so I call him and I'm like FaceTiming him and I'm talking to him and like he's explaining it to me and I'm like, okay, I think I've got it. I think I know where I'm going. So I stop like talking to him and then I start to back up my car. But you know, being like stressed and just like not kind of like all over the place and just like, where am I like going? Like, what am I doing with my life? Questioning all my life decisions in my head. I back up and I back into a parked car that's parked on like the other side. And so I hit the car and it makes a huge like loud boom. Literally these two ladies were like walking next to the car, which thank God I didn't hit a person, because oh my God, like I literally could have hit a person. Anyway, and so I back into the car and makes a huge like boom sound, and I literally, like these two women like jump up in the air and they just look at me and I just start bawling. Like I literally start crying because I just my life was such a mess. Like I literally hit the car, I didn't know where I was going, and I was so stressed because I was already running late. And so I hit the car behind me, it makes a huge like loud boom sound. I like just pull right back up into the spot that I was like sitting in before, and I just like call my dad again, like get back on the phone with him, and I'm like, Dad, I just hit like a person, or not a person, I just hit a car, like and so he's like, okay, I'm on my way. And I was literally sitting there crying and I was like, Hailey, like you need to like get your shit together, because you're gonna have to go into like school after this and like talk to people and like not look like you're falling apart, you know? You're gonna show up like and look like you just cried for 10 minutes, because that's what just happened. And so I'm sitting there and like I look at the car, and from where I'm sitting, it looks like I literally scratched all of the paint off of the back of their car. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to pay for their like damage. I'm gonna have to pay for my like insurance when it goes up. Like I literally just like messed everything up, and I'm gonna be late to class and miss my first day of college. Like it's just gonna be the worst day ever. And so then my dad gets there and he's like, oh, like what car did you hit? And I'm literally sitting there like trying to compose myself and crying. And then my mom gets there too. And then I get out of the car and I go like actually look at the car, and there's literally nothing wrong with it. Like I literally like hit bumper to bumper, so it made a huge sound because they kind of like, because I hit it, but no paint came off, like there was no visible damage at all. And so I'm just like sitting there crying and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's the car that I hit, but like apparently there's no damage, which it's so weird because I swear from where I was sitting it looked like I scratched all the paint off of their car, but I guess I didn't. I don't know, maybe I was just like imagining it because I was already like everything's going wrong. So then I hop in my dad's car so he can drive me to the university, which is literally like 1 minute away at this point. Also, I have like 2 minutes to get to my class, or I had like 5 minutes to get to my class. I still wasn't late like once he got there. So my mom stays so that she can go like find the person who like car I hit, because I don't have time to like stay there and like have a nice like conversation like, yes, I just ran into your car, which thank goodness, honestly, because I just probably would have kept crying and it would have been bad for everybody. And so my dad takes me to the university that's like a minute away. I get out, I go to the class, and so then I'm like, okay, I have English first, so I need to find my English class. So I literally like, there's a roster on one of the doors that it's like, okay, if you're in this class, then like it's in this like room. So there was this other girl who got there late, and so we were like running around, like there's an upstairs and there's a downstairs and there's lots of hallways, but I have no clue where this class is. So first I run upstairs to go see if like the number class is up there. There aren't even classes up there. I'm literally running through a hallway with like no labeling or anything, so I'm freaking out. Then I run back downstairs and go through another hall. There's nothing. And then I go to another hall, and thank goodness there's like classes at this point. One of the like ladies who works in the building is like standing there like because she's gonna help us. And so she's like, oh, like what class are you in right now, like supposed to be in? I was like, oh, I'm in English. So then she's like, okay, look on the doors, look on the rosters for that actual class. So I look on the roster, I see my name, I walk into the class. And I'm just like standing in the back, like, because there weren't any seats left. She was like, oh, like what's your name? And I'm like, oh, Hailey Brown, because that's my name. No, my name's definitely not Hailey Brown. I just said Hailey Brown because I felt like it. No, just kidding. My name's Hailey Brown. So I was like, oh, Hailey Brown. She's like, oh, that's weird, like you're not on my roster. So then I'm like, oh, awesome, like standing in front of like people that I know that go to my school, looking like a freaking idiot because I'm late. I don't know like what class I'm supposed to be in, obviously not this one because I'm not on her roster. So then I go into another classroom, and another English classroom that was like right across the hall, and I'm like, okay, like am I supposed to be in this class? Like, what's your name? Hailey Brown? No, you're not in this class. And then I was like, oh my goodness. So then the English teacher from the first class kind of like came with me into the other class, and so then we're like walking so she can help me figure out where the heck I'm supposed to be, because clearly I don't have a clue, and I'm like still kind of crying, like not really. They probably were like, what the heck is wrong with this girl? And I was like, I literally told this teacher, I was like, I'm sorry, I just got in a car crash, I'm kind of a mess. And so yeah, so that was just a mess. And then basically I find out I'm supposed to be in a history class right now, which like, how was I supposed to know this? Like, I don't know. Why did I think I had English first? I don't know. I'm sure there was like something I could have checked, but you know, I don't plan ahead very well, clearly why I was late and everything. Just kidding, whatever. And so I go into my history class. Luckily I wasn't like the last person there. People kept like showing up later and later. And then yeah, so I made it to my history class like 10 minutes late. And that was honestly such a hectic morning, and I ran into another car, but luckily there was no damage. And like apparently my mom like waited, and my dad and my mom went and found the person whose car it was, and they worked in the Target. And so, and like apparently, or not the Target, there's a Kroger and a Target there, and they worked in the Kroger, and apparently the whole like baking section of the Kroger came out and looked at the car and like assessed there was no damage, so that was all good. Luckily like my insurance and everything didn't go up. But yeah, so that was the story about how I got into a car crash on my first day of college. So was it clickbait? Yes, because that picture is not mine, but also it wasn't, because it definitely happened, and I definitely was a little sister stressed that day, actually a lot sister stressed. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. If you think I'm dramatic, that's okay. All my family and all my best friends say I'm dramatic, so like you're just getting to know me better. But yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this. I've really been like wanting to film more like sit down videos. I don't know if you guys want to see them though. Like I want to film a Q&A. I feel like so many people have been filming Q&As, and I haven't ever done a Q&A. So I want to do a Q&A, but I don't know if it's something that like people would care to watch, or like I want to put like something on my Instagram being like, oh, like comment questions for Q&A, but also I don't want people to judge me, and I feel like no one would comment because like no one cares about my life because I'm irrelevant. But if you would comment, then comment down below on this video. Just kidding. But yeah, so I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully your first days of school were better than mine was, because mine was a little rocky. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day or night or whenever you're watching this. So bye guys.